Hello everyone, it's Monday and the theme for this week is childhood memories. Sorry for the terrible video quality, I'm just doing this on my webcam today because my office is a mess and I can't be bothered trying to find my video camera. I'm an adult. So childhood memories. You can interpret that however way you want, girls. I find even the concept of memories really interesting, and I've been thinking about it a lot over the past few months. Like about the fact that they're actually quite unreliable. I mean, all you have to go on is what is in your head, and the brain has an amazing ability to change things, to make them more acceptable, or just the fact that obviously you literally cannot remember everything. There are things that I've done and said that I have no memory of. That's really weird. That being said, I actually have a pretty extraordinary memory. I'm able to remember quite a lot of details and conversations, and I tend to really creep people out with it. One of the best examples, though, of unreliable memories is between my parents. They broke up when they found out my mum was pregnant, and the actual conversation where my mum told my dad that she was pregnant, they both have completely different versions of that story. I mean completely. And I know the truth must be somewhere in the middle, but there's no point trying to find out because they both need to believe what they believe for their own sense of identity, which is fine, you know, and that's not a problem, but it's pretty interesting when you think about it. Is it John Green in An Abundance of Catherines who says what we remember becomes what happened? In terms of my childhood memories though, probably my earliest one was when we were living with my stepdad. I must have been about 3, and for some reason the house didn't have a toilet inside the house. We had an outhouse. It had a proper toilet in there, but you had to go down to the bottom of the garden. It was one of those really traditional wooden boxes with like the moon on the corner. Anyway, I was down there in the night with my mum, and I was waiting for her outside, and this little kitten crawled out through the fence by the outhouse, and it was this little, adorable little black kitten. We already had a big black cat. There goes my phone. I already had a big black cat called Midnight, and my mum thought it'd be hilarious to go inside and tell my stepdad that Midnight shrunk, which of course as a 3-year-old I thought this was hilarious, and I really wanted to keep it, and I named it Pippi after Pippi Longstocking because I was obsessed with Pippi Longstocking as a little kid. You know that scene in the movie where she puts her face in the cake? I used to continuously put my face in dessert, and then I wasn't allowed to watch it anymore. But anyway, I really wanted to keep it, but our original cat actually ran away while we had her, so I think we ended up giving her to her pet store, which I really regret now because she probably ended up being killed. I'm not a fan of pet stores. But then Midnight came back. I also remember my very first sleepover I ever had. I was about 7 or 8, and I just had it in my head that you play Twister at sleepovers, that's what you do. And so I went to our toy library, and they had it, but it was out, and I was devastated. And then my mum's boyfriend bought it for me for my birthday, and I was just like, yes, this is awesome. At that same birthday party, I ended up reading to all my friends out of my book How Babies Are Made, which I'm guessing there was some fallout between my mum and the other parents, because I found that out very, very young, and I had a picture book. And probably my greatest high school memory is making a short film. I had lots of very, very arty friends, and we made short films that made no sense, and I always really envied them because I was never asked to do one. And then in year 10 I got invited to play a role that was written especially for me, and I felt incredibly honoured, and it was so much fun. We filmed it over one night. We stayed up until sunrise and just filming all this like meaningful, intense dialogue and doing coverage background shots. And one of the best things ever was there was this scene where everyone was talking, and me and this other girl Hannah didn't have any lines in the scene, but we just had to be in the background, and we were meant to be contemplating fruit. So, like, we had a fruit bowl in between us. We were meant to be talking about fruit just in the background, and so like Hannah had this pear in her hand, and we were just like miming this conversation, of course, because we had to shoot it from all the different angles because we were very professional. We were doing that for at least an hour, just doing all this, and we were doing this great face acting, and then at the very end of the scene, we had to lean over to someone who was leaving and say bye. And then when we watched the final cut of the film, we weren't in the background of any shots. The only time it cut to us was when we were saying bye, and we found that pretty hilarious. But I swear by the end of it, this pear that Hannah had was completely bruised. Those are my thoughts on childhood memories, my just rambling, scattered thoughts. I look forward to whatever you guys want to do with that on Wednesday and Friday.